HooHooHooRobin.
We got to break into this interesting radio to say hi to our pal Sean Hannity. Sean, what's up, buddy?
You know, you're killing me. How do I follow this? I'm just going to go stuff my face with eggs and bacon and go back to bed.
That's what you do. You have the all-American breakfast, don't you?
Yes, a Republican breakfast.
That's the good
2 eggs over easy.
Exactly.
Some bacon.
We eat the all-American pig and cow. None of those goddamn... that gook sushi.
None of that.
No. We don't touch this. No, by the way, who was your guest? I didn't know who it was.
Oh, Patrice Oneal. He's amazing.
How you doing,
He's been filling in and helping us out because Jim Norton's in Hollywood doing an HBO series.
Well,
We're just blowing up over here on satellite there, Sean.
Yeah. Hey, congratulations. What are you up to, 6 or 7 million? You guys are rocking.
Yeah,
it's
so
working out. Knock wood. Thank God. Jesus, I thought our career was screwed.
I don't think so, guys. So I heard you out in Vegas. Did you stay at the Wynn?
No. Ben did some drinking over there, I think. We were at the MGM.
Oh, I've been at the MGM. You got to, next time you go out there, go to the Wynn Hotel.
You stayed there?
I stayed at the Wynn. I do shows out in Vegas like once or twice a year. I love it out there.
Nice.
It's really, really.
Yeah, I heard Wynn is just unbelievable.
I think it's like $850 a night, but it's worth every penny. They got flat screen TVs all over the place. You got huge space up there. You got a view of the Strip, second to none. And it's
you never have to leave the compound, huh?
You don't have to leave the compound, no.
What's different about the casino and the lobby and all that?
It's just, look, it's newer, it's nicer, it's the latest and greatest. It's just fun. I like the Bellagio too. I like
Bellagio's nice.
Yeah, definitely.
And,
what do you play?
Usually craps or a little poker or a little bit of blackjack. That's all.
Yeah.
I lose my shirt like everybody
Who
else.
doesn't? You got to pay for that building. It's huge.
Oh, we got to pay for something.
No one wins in Vegas. That is the biggest scam going.
No, I've had times when I've walked out of there.
Yep.
Yeah, but then you go, you know what? I just won whatever. I'm going to go treat myself to steak tonight. You leave every dollar behind no matter what. They have figured it all out. Huh?
Because I'm so stupid. I'll be up $500 or $1,000, and then I'll say, all right, roll it on this one hand.
Yeah, that never works.
That never works. That's where you say, oh, well, I had a great time.
They just know. Occasionally you get to hold their money for a little while.
Yeah.
But for the most part, everyone gives it back. And just.
Well, Anthony, you sounded like you were up the other day.
I was up in Texas Hold'em, but I wasn't playing really high-stakes games, so I didn't make back as much as I lost playing 3-card poker.
Okay.
So I left down about $1,500.
Yeah.
But I had a great time. Had a lot of fun. And, XM flies us out there, puts us up, so...
That's not a bad deal.
I would have paid a lot more than that.
Hey, Sean, you're going to have one of our faves on your show today, huh?
Bob Grant. Hey,
we love
oh, my God. Bob is on your show?
Bob Grant will be checking in today.
There's not many radio guys we like, but Bob Grant is one of them.
Well, let me tell you something, Svachim. You make sure you tell him that we said hello.
John Manelli was trying to hire him at NEW at the time, and
it would have been a great move.
And he was walking through the halls, and Anthony and I were so starstruck. We're like, holy shit, Bob Grant's in the building.
See, we were in the same arena because, look, how many of us grew up listening to him?
Yep. For the rest of the country, you got to understand, this guy was the real deal. He would just scream and yell at old ladies and tell them he's going to knock their teeth out.
When somebody wasn't
and he meant it. That's the best part about it.
When someone was not making sense or babbling or just calling to compliment him or something, he's a let's get to the point kind of guy.
Yeah.
And he would unload on some people, and it was done with such humor.
But do you think he ever realized just how funny he was? Like,
that's it. He never came across like he knew how funny he was being.
When he would scream, "Hey, get off my phone, you creep!"
You creep. Or someone would make a point, and quietly, you'd almost think he was going to agree with the guy. He'd go,
well, thank you for your point. Somebody please get me my digitalis. I am disgusted with you, and you will not pollute my phone lines again.
Well, I'm going to try and get to the real story. I don't believe he's walking out of there on his own.
Nah.
Yeah, I don't either.
I think it's a typical radio story, except maybe this is one of those moments where they give somebody an opportunity to do a last show. It's been 10 years since he walked out of WABC.
Wow.
Look, you guys know what it's like to be under fire in New York.
Yep.
And when he was under fire, it was huge. It was all over the place. And it was because of comments that he had made about Ron Brown. I don't know if everybody remembers when Ron Brown's plane went down. He was the Commerce Secretary at the time. There was one report that there had been one survivor.
Yeah.
And Grant went on the air and he said that I know it's him. After all, I'm a pessimist.
Yeah. I mean...
And he's apologized for it. He said he shouldn't have said it. I don't think he should have been fired for it.
No, I don't think he should have been fired for that.
And he should say stuff like that. What the hell? We need it all on the airwaves.
Well, I think we got you guys now saying everything. I don't think there's anything left to say.
We try, Sean.
There's plenty.
I did feel like a loss of love because you guys don't call me anymore, but I tuned in the other day and there's Danny Bonaducci. Now, I know I can't top his stories of drug use, sex, and rock and roll. What happened? I was at that guy's house in the 2000 when they were having the what do you call it? One of the conventions were out there.
Okay. Oh, one of those radio conventions?
No, one of the presidential conventions.
Oh, look at how stupid I am.
Yeah,
radio you mean convention. I'm trying to relate to Sean Hannity. You mean one of those radio junkets we've all done?
The one that picks the leader of the free world, Opie?
Oh, that one. Yes, of course. We could all relate to that, Sean.
I went to Bonaducci's house. He has a beautiful house high up on the hills in I guess it's Los Angeles. He's got a wife who is really, really extremely religious, very nice woman. Mm-hmm. And he was supposedly had turned his whole life around. And then I tune into you guys, and now he's worse than he's ever been.
Yeah, we've heard about his recoveries over the years, and each time he trips again, it seems to be worse and worse.
Yeah, and he seems to love it more and more.
Yeah, well, the publicity, I think he enjoys that.
And I can't get enough of that type of TV, that whole celeb reality thing. I can't get enough of these guys just showing it all now.
And when did our favorite ex-white sitcom star become roided up animals? Peter Brady and fucking Danny Bonaducci are just... They look dangerous. Danny Bonaducci looks like he can actually whoop somebody's ass.
These guys are ready for ultimate fighting.
He has, yeah.
Now, something happens. Anthony, you made the point when you were interviewing him. Every single childhood star is messed up.
Yeah, they have some kind of problems, and I think it comes from the not having that childhood. They always say that. He didn't have a childhood.
Not Chunk from the Goonies.
I think they just get addicted to all the fame and celebrity, and they spend the rest of their lives trying to recapture what they once had.
Chasing that, yeah. When you had it so young, then you're kind of lost when that goes away.
Hey, they would have gotten it when they were mature like you guys.
Hey,
there
Sean,
you go.
We're kind of discussing TV in this segment here. What does Sean Hannity watch when he's not doing the radio show? Like we're talking about Celebrity Fit Club. Going to get into it in a little while.
You know,
I cuddled up with a case of some donuts and a 24-hour binge on C-SPAN.
C-SPAN.
It's not really that bad. I do have my moments watching the History Channel and A&E.
I'm constantly watching those. I love the crime shows.
Thank you,
and I
Anthony.
love the war shows, World War II documentaries. I can't get enough of those.
I watched a block of Bitches in Prison on MSNBC.
MSNBC.
Oh, shit,
The
man. They're doing
greatest.
some stuff on Friday nights. It was like Bitches in Prison.
I watched it last night, the Folsom Prison thing.
I didn't see the Folsom Prison one.
Anthony, ask him if he's going to watch Lincoln Was a Nigga Love on A&E coming up. Are you going to get into that there, Anthony?
Well,
you bastard.
Sean, yeah, listen to this.
Lincoln was crazy, motherfucker.
Just to let Sean know, Anthony has a whole theory on the Lincoln thing.
There's a
and the
show
slaves.
that's going to be on the History Channel about Abe Lincoln, and they're talking about his personal life and how I think the slug line is he was fighting two wars. One was in his head.
The Depression. That's been said for years.
Yeah.
Doris Kearns Goodwin has a book out, Team of Rivals. I'm reading it now.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the political...
I'm reading A Million Little Pieces.
I'm reading the back page of the Post.
Someone's got to do it, man.
Somebody's got to.
How is your brain wired where you walk into a bookstore and that's the book you pick up, Sean?
I'm a total loser. I admit it.
No, he's Sean Hannity.
Well, look, we do two different...
But he wasn't always Sean Hannity's, what I'm saying. There was a time he walked into a bookstore and he went right for the boring books.
No, but are you more informed now that you have to be, or you was always just a dude that would read everything?
It's what I do. Look, Anthony has this side of him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Opie, if he had his way, wouldn't even know who the president is.
Absolutely. I think it's a waste of time to know these
all this
fuckers.
stuff, and you follow politics pretty closely. It's
Absolutely.
I like sports. I like politics. I like the issues of the day, and And I got to stick with the topics I know about. You guys can talk a lot about sex. I've been married 13 years. I don't know anything about it. So,
all right, what's this book about?
What?
Going back to the book you're reading that relates to the Lincoln thing.
It's the political genius of him. Lincoln literally was not supposed to win the nomination for the Republican Party when he was running. Mm-hmm. And he had all these smart guys. They were intellectually superior. They had better and more superior political skills. And it just talks about not only how he...
I thought we were talking about Lincoln, not Bush.
Well, the Bush has been great. Come on. The democratization of the region, Opie. You got to see, through the spectrum of history, we're going to see that this was a critical moment in the movement of freedom and liberty in the world.
Through the spectrum of history.
That's correct.
Through the spectrum of history.
That's right.
So anyway, Lincoln basically outmaneuvered all his critics, and how he, was able to put a coalition together of the very people that were opposing him. Mm-hmm. For the nomination, and he ended up being a great president.
And that's the book you're reading?
But what about that mistake he made freeing the slaves?
I never said it was a mistake on this Martin Luther King Day.
Anthony goes up, he's a crazy sucker.
What I said was, and it had nothing to do with his mental problems, was the fact that one of the considerations to freeing the slaves was to really undermine the power that the South did have. It ruined their industry. And it was a great strategic move for a war. It wasn't just out of the kindness of his heart. He decides during a war, hey, I'm just going to throw the black people a bone and free them. It was about making the South weaker by taking away their workforce.
Sean?
Listen to Sean. Listen to Sean Hannity's like, well,
boys, you hear that phone ringing in the back. I got to finally answer it.
You talk about that if you like to, mister.
I bet you Sean Hannity has a phone ringing in the background the whole time he's on the air, just in case it gets uncomfortable. He goes, whoa, this one I got to take.
This isn't uncomfortable. Why can't we just talk about history?
How quiet was Sean? He goes, Lincoln was just doing that for
that
business
was one
reasons.
of them. But it's known.
He freeing the slaves. Mm-hmm. There was a movement that rightly found it morally repugnant, the institution of slavery. Lincoln was part of that movement.
Right.
He was a major part and major component of what the Civil War was about.
I understand. That's why I didn't say it was his sole reasoning was to destroy the South. But that was a consideration. It's not as if, over the years, Lincoln has been looked at as this saint that out of the goodness of his heart freed the slaves.
But it was found out that he lost a bet.
That was a big part of his motivation.
Well,
and look, even our founders, even some of them that owned slaves, were leading hypocritical lives. They found slavery morally repugnant. They wanted to get rid of it. If they would have tried to end it, say in 1787 when we were forming our Constitution, they would not have been able to do it. So in their genius, I would argue, they put in place the means by which over time that they would be able to right wrongs and correct injustices.
To downsize slavery. We left it. We're downsizing slavery over the course of we have this schedule.
The hope would be to eliminate it.
Right. I understand that. The thing is, why then didn't Lincoln immediately free the slaves? Because it wasn't good for the country. It wasn't good business-wise to the North. It wasn't a good thing for the country at that time until it hurt the enemy.
Well, because the nigger police had to stay around for a while to learn how to control their own areas, so they had to just stay there for a little while.
No, Patrice, I didn't say... Boy, it is so hard to shell out an argument and not just get crucified.
The insurgents.
I think he's got you checkmate here.
No, he doesn't.
Thank you, Sean Hannity, sir, and I'm on your side. No more fucking combs.
Damn.
That's it. No more combs.
Fuck that comb shit.
All right, Sean.
And you guys haven't caused any trouble. Cause some trouble so we can bring you back on TV.
We're trying.
All right.
We came close a few times recently.
Yeah, no, I heard about it.
Yeah, we'll try to stay.
All right.
We'll try to keep our jobs. Is what we're trying to do.
I think we're moving a little closer to that line every time I hear about it.
Now we want to be around for a while. Sean Hannity, it's always a pleasure.
All right, guys, good to talk to you.
You're on XM 124 today at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, and one of our faves, I'm telling you, Bob Grant's on with Sean Hannity today.
Yeah, definitely check that out. And really, Sean, tell Bob we said hi. We've always been huge fans,
man.
Man.
In studio, and tell him you said hello.
All right, thank you, Sean.
All right, guys, bye.
All right.
Oh,
Sean
how
Hannity.
genius was his silence when you were
His
talking about...
silence.
He had a phone ringing in the background.
I love it.
And he's such a... he's such a politician with everything he does.
He's very diplomatic.
I bet you he set that up and said, all right, had his wife just ring the house phone the entire time he was on the air with us,
boy.
so he had an out.
Not
like,
on
that's my
Martin
agent.
Luther King's birthday. Not on Martin Luther King. It's in the back. The phone's going, bring. Yeah. So, bring. Then you get the link and it goes, ring, motherfucker. Lincoln,
I want to find one motherfucker that agrees that, God damn it, if he was so fucking
Billy
noble,
Burr will agree with you.
if he was so noble,
Get that-
day one, and do you accept the presidency, as he had his hand on the Bible for the inauguration, I accept the presidency of the United States of America, free the fucking slaves.
Yeah, none of these.
I'm sure
none
it
of
was
these
a
guys.
plan.
It was an ulterior
But it's
motive
just like
in there.
this whole idea of exit strategy for Baghdad or whatever. It's like you got to have strategy to that, because you got to understand, even people in the North didn't like black people. But that's the reason, listen, to go back, not to get to this Jew thing again, but that's the reason we didn't go to war right away in World War II, is because they didn't want the country to think we was fighting for Jews.
Right.
So you can't go in and go, okay, I'm the president. Hey, we're going to let slaves free. White people are racist. So he had to be very careful when he did it.
Black people are racist too, though.
Race thing, see,
So what?
The race thing, I think,
I
was
was just saying, call us racist. I've been
race
enough
thing
around
was
you
the
boys to
smallest
see
part
that
of it.
You guys got
the
your
race
own.
issue was the smallest part of Lincoln freeing the slaves. The race issue, smallest part. The fucking North ran on the materials from the South. The reason the North was so rich was because they got so much cheap material from the South to make shit. Why do you think that material was so cheap? Slave fucking labor. If all of a sudden now the South had to pay workers, the North is going to pay more for materials and not make as much money. It's always
all right.
It's
Ready?
always about money, people.
So wait a minute, Anthony.
Always.
So if your idea that, okay, why didn't he just free him, right?
Right.
So now they're free.
Right.
Why didn't they just bring them back?
What,
Why
to
didn't they
Africa?
Why? Oh no, slavery. Why isn't slavery just? All right, you know what? We want slavery again. That shit didn't work out.
All right, I'd like to announce my new platform. I am.
Like trying to get
Why
the
didn't they
toothpaste
bring
back
it
into the
back?
I'm saying
tube. Are you insane?
if it wasn't a moral issue, why isn't slavery?
It became a moral issue,
All right.
and it was part moral
Look
issue.
at Opie goes all right.
No, all I'm thinking is
fuck slaves.
No, all I'm thinking
Martin
is
Luther
Bill.
King Day.
I don't give a fuck about that. All I care about is Bill Burr's been outside the studio
I know.
for 45 minutes
Bill's
trying to
gotta
get in.
get
here.
in.
Listen, I can't look. Once you bring Billy in, it's stereo hunkies with Lincoln. Bill will agree with you because Bill doesn't like black folks. I'm his only black
Bill
friend.
doesn't like black folks. Let me tell you something.
Bill only tries to learn about black people so he can use it against them. He
I have
shakes
to
your
be
hand.
so politically correct when Bill Burr is in the studio.
Billy is motherfucking. Listen,
Billy dates black chicks. He loves
gives a
black people. He knows more about black people than
sleeping
you.
with the enemy. That is the fucking. That's his trick.
Listen, with that, we're going to go to break. It's MLK Day. As we go to break, we'll play Boo Got Shot.
I love Boo Got
with
Shot.
the white translation for Martin Luther King Day. Listen to this.
She was taking real bad.
It appears the young lady was trembling from nervousness.
Peaches, they got shot.
Someone has been wounded.
So who?
I inquired as to who the victim was.
She said, Boo got shot.
Boo has suffered a gunshot
Boo
wound.
got shot.
Boo has become the victim of another violent crime.
I said, oh my God.
Oh me, oh my.
We just saw it. My sister had called somebody up here.
My sibling telephoned another relative.
She called my cousin Pumpkin just stayed up.
In fact, it was my cousin Pumpkin who lives in this very same community.
She called her, and Pumpkin told her that she was on the phone with police.
Pumpkin was already on the phone with the local authorities.
And Chichi, she had left out.
Chi-Chi had already departed.
She went and got in her car, she bailed out.
She found her vehicle and put it in reverse.
And when she left out, then when I heard the gunshot again,
As she was departing, a shot rang out, piercing the cold night air.
And when I heard the gunshot and I seen some boy had running the building over back that way.
Apparently, the perpetrator was seeking cover behind a local building.
He ran that building.
It was that building over there.
And I seen that car just flew off.
I saw the car depart with a rapid acceleration.
And then I seen a long gun.
I saw a firearm of substantial caliber.
A big old gun in it.
I mean substantial caliber.
The boy was in the back seat, he had a big old long gun.
In fact, it was the gentleman in the back seat who had the firearm with the extended barrel.
Robin, Robin, Robin.